And Jennifer, on that note, as you mentioned, many lawmakers calling for tougher laws there on gun control, some of whom are already weighing in. And one person we'll be hearing on later on today would be President Donald Trump.
Jared Hill live for us in Washington with why some lawmakers are saying the president is partially to blame for sowing the seeds of hate. Good morning, Jared.
Hey, good morning, guys. So this morning we are waiting on President Trump to give some remarks regarding these two deadly mass shootings from over the weekend. We don't know what he's going to say, but yesterday he did point the finger at mental health being potentially a cause here.
I want to extend our condolences.
President Trump Sunday speaking for the first time on the two mass shootings over the weekend that left nearly 30 dead.
Shots fired!
Early Sunday in Dayton, Ohio, 9 killed when a 24-year-old white man shot up a bar filled with customers hiding for safety. Less than a day before in El Paso, Texas, 20 dead. The mass shooting at a Walmart there is being treated as a case of domestic terrorism. Law enforcement believe the 21-year-old white male suspect here posted a racist, anti-immigrant essay online just before the rampage.
Hate has no place in our country.
But this morning, the president's past rhetoric is being put under new scrutiny.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best.
We have a president right now who traffics in this hatred, who incites this violence, who calls Mexican immigrants rapists and criminals.
And earlier this year, the president chuckled during a rally in Florida when an audience member suggested shooting immigrants trying to cross the border.
How do you stop these people? You can't. There's no... That's only in the panhandle you can get away with that statement.
The president unquestionably has aligned himself in his language with white nationalists and white supremacists.
We have to figure out a way to fix the problem, not figure out a way to lay blame.
And as Jennifer mentioned earlier this morning, there are some now Democratic senators calling on an emergency session here in Washington in order to vote on some gun reform legislation. This would actually be a vote on a bill that already passed earlier this year in the House. Guys, back to you.
And Jerry, let's stay on that for a second. So what is in that gun reform bill that Democratic senators want passed?
Yeah, so this is a bill that essentially focuses on background checks, making it so that universal background checks are required anytime that a gun is being sold. There are a couple of exemptions that would be in this bill, things like transferring to a family member or if it's a transfer for the case of hunting or target practice or self-defense. Once again, though, this is something that has been on the table in the Senate for months now. The question will be whether or not this gets taken up in light of these latest tragedies. Back to you.
All right, Jared Hill in Washington for us. Thank you very much. And deadly shootings from this weekend come just a week after 3 people were killed in a shooting at a food festival in California.